Hello,
Hey, nice to meet
ready
you.
to check them.
Nice to meet you. I'm Steve.
Hello, Steve. Before we can begin the session, I want to let you know that we are protected by confidentiality, but it may be breached in the event that there's child abuse, harm to others, or a court ordered mandate. If that is okay with you, would you like to continue the
Yeah,
session?
I'll be alright.
All right, Steve. So, what brings you in here today?
I just got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. Just stressed out a lot. I don't know, just feeling kind of down, depressed. Feel like I need I'm missing a lot in my life right now. In school, with work, my kids. I want to see my kids. I want to spend time with them, and I'm just stressed out because of everything that's going on. And some of it's in my control, some of it's not. But I really want to minimize the stress as much as I can in my life.
Would you be able to describe your work for me?
Yeah. During the day I'm a teacher, and I go to school. I'm around kids all day, and I teach elementary school. So I'm around kids, and it reminds me of my kids because my kids are at the elementary age, and I want to be around them. But I work with kids. I work with like special needs kids, and I teach them science. So I teach all subjects basically, but I'm just mainly an itinerant support teacher, so I help them, and I I get a chance to, like I said, be around kids all day, and I'm happy with my job. I love it. I work hard. Um, I actually devote myself to my kids, and some of them like I see them like they are my kids because what I want most of my actual kids teachers to feel that way. So I try to treat them as if they're my own kids and stuff. And I don't know, they're real cool. The kids are good, and we're coming to the end of the year, so I'm ready for summer. But I know that with this time of the year, with the coming of the year, the end of the year coming, I know that I'm gonna have a lot more time at home, and I'm gonna have a lot more time to do things, and I wanna, I don't know, I just wanna do them with my kids, not anybody else, not like my students. I wanna do it with my kids, and that seems to be a big issue with me.
Obviously, it seems like you care a lot about kids, and especially your kids. Um, so, explain to me about your family.
Well, I was married. I was married for 5 years. Um, I was in the military. I'm still in the military, and my wife and I separated during a deployment when I was overseas, and I got back, and we went through all the legal battle and all that good stuff. So my wife and I split up, and my kids, one of them was 6 and one was 4. So they're a couple years apart, but they're at the age where like they're starting to ask like, "Where's my dad?" and stuff like that. They know who I am, but they're asking like, "Who's my dad?" Well, not who's my dad, but where is my dad? I want to spend time with my dad, and I can't be there all the time because of my work. I want to spend more time with them. That's ultimately what I want to do. Is I want to spend more time with them. A lot of what's going on with my wife and I right now kind of gets in the middle of that. Like there's some rekindling wanted of our relationship, but a lot of hesitation more on my side, just because of experience. You know, I've been through a lot with her, and um, I don't know. It's just something that I don't feel ready for, but I know that it might happen in the future. My son's one's Augie's 6 and Ezekiel's 4. Augie's he's in first grade. Yeah, he's in first grade, and is he's about to go into 7th grade, and he's loves sports, and he's a big athlete. He's real into biking and stuff like that. He likes bikes. My younger son, Zeke, is like a motorcycle fanatic, man. He's just like me, man. He just loves motorcycles, and I want to be there because I know that that's the age that my dad was like really there for us, and it really it's meaningful. Those like a meaningful age, and the fact that I'm not there and I have to wait till like the weekends, every other weekend to see him sucks because it's like 4 days out of the month that I get to really spend some time with him. And part, you know, the the hard part about it is that some of that's by choice on my part because I don't want to be around the confrontation. I don't want to be around my ex who brings about a lot of the confrontation and like the forcefulness. And I don't like being forced into anything. That's a big thing.
So do you feel like that your work is stressing you because you're not able to see your kids, your own kids?
Yeah, yeah. Work is that's a big piece of it. School is a big piece of it also, and then um, I don't know, like just the time of the year. Yeah, it's a testing time of the year. Spending a lot of time, extra hours after work. I want to spend it with my kids. Um, it's not me. I'm not a technology person. I'm not like a person that's Skype or anything like that. I know what it is. I've done it before, but I'm not that type of person. And I try to do it, but you know, it's difficult to do it sometimes. But it's a big part of it is school and my work
And that's what
and my ex. Yeah, that's a big one. So um,
I saw your eyes light up on that one.
yeah, yeah, it's a big part of it. It's a big part of what's going on with me.
Would you go to this private school?
Yeah, yeah. It's an elementary school. It's a low income school, and there's a lot of students there that are disadvantaged. They don't have dads and stuff like that. That's what's so weird is that because a lot of my kids don't have fathers, and it's not a case by case basis, but they take to me like they are a father, and I feel like I'm being more of a parent sometimes to those kids than I am to my own kids, and that sucks because I know that I have two kids out there that are mine. They belong to me, like I made them, and I can't be the father that I want to be to them. A little bit because of what I feel, and then a lot because of what's going on with my ex and I,
And also, you go to school.
and all the other variables that tie into it. Yeah, that's a big part.
Would you go to describe not your work, but school work?
School is it's important. It's a big thing to really to kind of manage. School's it's unpredictable. There's like a lot of studying, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of extra hours work, it's a lot of work on the weekends, and man, maybe it's like lack of managing my time right, but it's just a lot of work, man. It's just reading, studying, buying things, buying books, buying everything that I need for school. It's it's hard.
I know you mentioned work, school, and your wife, um, and your children, and you being able to spend time with them. Um, would you want to describe that relationship for me as how it was in the past
Which one?
with your wife? I'm sorry.
My whole relationship with my wife. That right now, it's crap. Like right now, our relationship sucks because of what happened. Like like we split up while I was overseas. A lot to do with like her personality type, and then me being gone by choice. Like that had a big part of it, and yeah, I mean we fight a lot. Like we fight about stuff that it's not really fighting about like our personalities or anything like that. We fight about um, why we're not together. Like I just want to. She wants me to forget the things that have happened, and I can't. I can't. I embrace the experiences, and I haven't. I learned from them, and based on those experiences, I set up these walls. I set up things in my life that kind of protect me from getting um, becoming fragile again. You know, what I mean, being exposed. That's a big part of it. It hit me hard getting divorced, and it was mutual, but it seems to me like it, from what I've heard from her and myself, it took something like that happening in order for us to realize what we really had. And I don't like that. I don't like being like, oh, you have to get her in order to
Realize that your family was involved, and now you're losing out with your kids and the time that you took that.
yeah, it's yeah, it's a a little more than that, but it's hard to put it into words. It really is to see how much we lost and how it's always going to affect our kids. Our kids are at the age that they know. They're like, oh, I know what's going on. If they weren't at if they were like a little age, like 2 and 1 or 3 and 1, they'd be like, I don't know what's going on. I just see this guy every couple weeks. But now they're smart and they know, like, hey, I know who my dad is, but I know he's not here. So there's a lot of questions I'm being asked, and it makes me wonder, like, what does she say to them to explain that? I know what I say. Like, hey, your mom and I have problems and stuff like that. I want to be there with you, and there's a lot going on between your mom and I. I don't want to tell them too much, to hurt them. So yeah, it's kind of hard. But
So how have you been able to deal with this?
oh man, I've drinking. Yeah, it is. But I usually hang out with friends and stuff. I try not to be alone. Usually when I'm by myself someplace, I really just think about all the crap. And I try not to be around those friends that do bring it up. If I'm around those friends that bring it up, I'm just like, man, I'm not talking about that crap. I just want to, if I'm not thinking about it, it kind of, if I am thinking about it, it'll screw with me. It'll really start digging at me. And I'm like, I don't even want to be here. I just want to go home and go to sleep or something like that. But I don't know, man. It hurts because I know it's going to be even worse in the summer because I have purpose now. I have work. When the summer comes around, it's like, hey, man, it's all free game. I got time for myself to think, and that's what I don't want. And this is my first. This is actually my second summer, but last summer I worked. Subsequently, I worked another job, so it's going to be something really.
It seems to me like your divorce is causing you a lot of stress, and you're missing out on that time with your kids that you would like to have, and you're spending more time with the kids that you work with.
Yeah, yeah, what you're saying, yeah. That's a big part of it. That's a big part of wanting to be with my kids. That's probably the biggest thing that I need to focus on. I need to. That's kind of what I'm here because I just want to. I'm not doing something right. I feel like the problem's with me. I feel like there's a lot of the stress I bring it upon myself.
So one of the things is that that I kind of like, you want to be able to spend more time with your kids, and you want to be able to spend
Yeah. I do.
have anything worked before.
Going around my ex is saying like, hey, I want to get my mom to pick up my kids, and then I go hang out with my mom, and it's like seeing some. I know that every time I see my ex, there's gonna be an argument. There's gonna be an argument. There's always an argument. There's always gonna be like that frustration, like why aren't you with me? Why don't you want to be with me? This already happened. Why don't you? And it's weird because like it's something that when I look at what I've done and then what she's done, I've done so much like more like outside of a relationship that she has, but at the same time, I don't know, man. It's like there's this pride inside me, like, hey, when you had it, you lost it. When you had it, you blew it, and then I stayed faithful. Now that I'm not married to you, I'm just having all this fun and having a great time, and I don't have to worry about being vulnerable to anybody, especially her. But I'm more vulnerable to my kids. Like that's the thing. Is that I'm not afraid of getting hurt by my wife. I'm afraid of getting hurt by my kids.
So what I hear you saying is that it's your kids that are usually that you fear is being hurt by them and no longer your wife. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, my oldest son, like when he's talking to me, he knows how to ask the right questions every now and again. Because he's like, why aren't you there? I miss, you tucking me in. I miss, spending all this time with you. And there's no other man in their life. Like it's just my wife, my ex-wife, and them living together. So I'm wondering, like, hey, yeah, I know my ex is getting all these memories and like all these spending the night with them. Well, of course, spending the night with them, but like tucking them in, reading them stories, bathing them, taking them to school, like all the stuff that I feel like I deserve to be around, and I know I deserve it, and she knows I deserve it. It's just I don't want that relationship with her just yet, or I don't even know if it's ever again. I don't know. I have feelings for her, but it's just like it's if I jump into that relationship again, I make myself vulnerable again. I know I'm gonna make myself vulnerable. I'm always gonna ask myself in the back of my head, will she do this again? Will she do this again?
There's no respect for you, what you do.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about it. And, well, I was overseas, and like I said before, it's like a lot about her personality. It's a lot about who she is, and she's a very like kind of touchy feely kind of person. Like I have to hold something, I have to have hugs every day, and like I have to have that one person, my soulmate there to like make me dinner, fold my clothes, and it's weird because I've been back for like a year and a half now, and the behaviors are like that's not there like anymore. But it was only when I was gone and I couldn't see her for like 8 months at a time that she started not meeting trying to meet other guys, but met one person, and a lot of the frustration that built up to why we divorced happened before I left. It was because she didn't want me to leave to begin with, and I volunteered. I wanted to go. It was something that I wanted to do for myself. I wanted to go overseas one more time, and I thought it would be better for my family financially. And it did end up being exactly what I thought it was, but it came with a price. It came with the price of my marriage. And looking back at it, I know I went over there for a good reason. I went over there for a lot of myself rather than a lot of pride. That's that was more for me. So
I'm not fully understanding. I just the whole situation. Was it the attention that you were giving her? Like,
yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was I couldn't call every day. I couldn't make a phone call like every day. I couldn't even call but sometimes once every week and a half just because of where I was. And I know because of the type of personality that she has that she needs that type of person to talk to every day. I need to talk to him. I need to talk to my spouse. I need someone to talk to every day. I need to have that love and affection. And I think that she saw that me going was saying that I don't want to be with you. Of course, I want to be with you. I told her that, like, and I stayed faithful, you know. And I think that I think it was just like just the lack of being there for her, like as a person. In a time, maybe in a time that I didn't really know, but like even in a time when she said that before, she said like, I needed you here. I
and
needed,
your kids were already around at this time?
yeah, our kids were what, four and two,
Okay, at the time, so
yeah,
2 years ago.
about a year and a half, 2 years, yeah, about 2 years ago, yeah. But it was a tough time, and a lot of it had to do with her and I's relationship. But of course, I was in a place where I couldn't make any any kind of pursuit of relationship anyways. You know, she was in a situation where she was around people, still her life went on, she was still working, she was still doing a lot of stuff, and then my family um, was trying to stay in contact with her, but she fell off with the family. my family. She was really close to me, but during the deployment, like even my mom told me, she's like, yeah, she talked to me a little bit at the beginning of the deployment, but later on into the deployment, she didn't.
Um, so you mentioned your family, you're real close with your family.
Yeah, yeah. My mom, she lived when I was gone was like maybe like probably about 5 minutes away from her. She wanted to be close to like that's another thing. Like she wanted to be close to my family, and she was close to my family. So like I told her I was like, why'd you have to resort to that? Why can't you just fall back on like my mom and like why'd you got to go off and pursue a relationship with somebody when you could have pursued a relationship with my family and you still would have been close to me because it's my family, you know? And my mom, she's divorced, and um,
Oh, so there's a history of divorce?
yeah, my parents were divorced like 15 years ago. So, um, but that was my dad who left. So my mom is like by herself right now. She got a boyfriend and everything like that. And then I have a sister um, who is also a military person. My brother-in-law is a military person also. And they live like all within driving range, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of each other. So I thought like that was a big resource, like a big opportunity for her to like stay close to me and not feel like she was by herself. And you know, like even when I was gone, like my it's weird because she told me afterwards, she's like, "Oh, I would leave the boys with your mom so I can go out on a date." I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, why would you say that? Like, why would you do that? Like, what were you telling my mom? Because my mom would have never been cool with that. Like, what would you like? How would you do that? You know what I mean? That's like it takes a lot of planning and like a lot of secret, like I guess secrecy. That would take a lot of secrecy to do something like that. And my mom would have been like, "You need to work it out," rather than saying, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm just gonna go out on another boy with another guy. You're married to my son." Like she would have never done that. And my sister would have been the same way. So it makes me wonder, like, you know, she manipulated my family too, like my siblings, my sister, and my brother. I have two brothers, and then I talked about my sister. My two brothers, like they're super religious, and you know, even my brother Ernesto asked, he was like, he even invited her to church, like when I was gone, like, hey, you want to go to church with us? Go to these events to bring her closer to God. And she didn't even do it. So like, I mean, I don't know, that might have nothing to do with it, but like, it's just there was a lot of attempting on my family side to keep that relationship together. Instead, it went the other way.
It seems you're upset that she betrayed not only you, but even your family.
Yeah, like that was a big part of it. That's another reason, like, is that's a whole other bridge we have to cross again. Is like, hey, you know, my family knows what happened now, and they're like, what the hell? Like, we tried, you know, and they can't. They're very forgiving. They know it's my relationship, but they know that my boys are going to be in the family no matter what. She's a part of the family no matter what. So it's harder for them to kind of grasp because in some aspects, my mom and my sister, they all feel a little bit betrayed too, and that hits me because I'm real close to them. That like I know that if I forgive and just go back to that relationship, my family, and my mom, and my siblings will be like, dude, what the hell? Like, why? And I was like,
And I heard you mention your boys again. Um, I would like to go back to that. I know earlier you mentioned wanting to spend more time with them and be around them more. Um, if you were around them more, what activities would you?
man, yeah, like I can never plan all of that out. Like I know I would love to. I would love to just like take him out like bike rides and stuff like that because that's where I connected with my dad. It was like I was real big into motorcycles, real big into bicycles, and my sons are at the same age that I was when I jumped on a motorcycle. And like I even like went shopping for dirt bikes, even though I don't see them. I like went shopping for dirt bikes for them, and I was like, man, I would love to do this with them. And it's just a matter of kind of letting go. And I know my wife will let me on those weekends, especially the weekends that I have them. I can go do that. So I definitely like to take him out more and spend more time with them other than the weekends. So that's and I know my ex won't like fight me if I ask him like, hey, you know, let's do this. And I know school's coming to an end, so like I might have that more time. It's just more of fear, like ooh, how much of that time will I have? But I guess that's something I just want to spend. Maybe get some more time to do some like bike riding with them. That's a big one. Like not like do some bike riding with them. What else did I do? Oh, take them to the movies. because I see like all these kid movies coming out, and I feel like, man, I know my ex is gonna take me to that movie, and I'm like, I want to go to that movie with them. So, man, maybe I can take them to that movie. I can take them to the movies, and then just build stuff with them. I was like a real outdoors kind of kid, playing in the dirt and stuff like that. And my wife's like, hey, get on the iPad. My ex-wife's like, hey, let's sit on the side of an iPad. I hate that. I'm just like, get outside, scrape your knees, let's do some stuff like that. So getting away from San Antonio with them, I think that'd be really cool. I know it'll never happen. I can't be like, hey, let's go camping for a week. I would take them camping for a week, but I know my ex would never go for that. So
So you typically just, a day or two at most.
every 2 weeks, yeah, yeah. So like that's maybe something I can just ask for. Maybe she might be a little bit more understanding of it because I won't be working this summer. So maybe something to try.
You think these are some of the goals that you would like to set during this counseling session, is trying to get more time with your kids and do these activities?
It's definitely something I need to do. It's definitely something I need to do because talking about it just makes me realize like that's what I want. I just want to spend more time with them. And I think a lot of my stress and a lot of my feeling down will change if I just get a chance to spend more time with them.
Has there been anything that you tried?
There's things that I've wanted to do, but I haven't really pursued them because of all the things in my life, like work and school and my military job, like all those things, like leave a limited amount of time. And I think that once those come to an end, I'll actually have an opportunity to pursue that, spending more time with them, even though if it's just for summer.
Um, I know you mentioned one of the things that you wanted to do with them was, bike riding or even to the movies. Have you been able to do that anything?
Yeah, I did it a little bit with my son, just like I took him to the movies like the day, like one time, and it was awesome. We had a great time and everything. We did it. Um, we went to a movie together, just my two boys and I, and we did popcorn and we went for ice cream and stuff like that. But we had to get him home at a certain time. So like, cause I have an apartment and everything like that, but they spent the night. But that night was a Sunday, so I had to have him home by like 7 at my ex's place.
So if you didn't have to worry about work tomorrow or school or your job, and you were able to pick up the boys, what would the perfect day look like?
Wake up, make him breakfast, take him to school, me go to work, get off work, go pick them up from school, wherever they're at, go home, take them to the park, play with them, give them a bath, get them to brush their teeth, maybe hang out, watch some TV, put them to bed, and then just go to sleep. That's what I see. Like, I can't do that because I only get my weekends and stuff like that. I want to be there the full spectrum of the time.
So I know going forward, one of the things that you want to focus is trying to make time and come up with activities for your children. Is that correct?
Yeah, I need to start really thinking about the next like 3 or 4 weeks because the school's coming in and like some of the things that I really want to do and plan stuff out and really try talking to my ex about getting divorced and stuff like that.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being the best, um, how does your stress level feel?
4 or 5. I mean, it's not unmanageable, but yeah, I feel like it would be better because when I am stressed out.
And what would you like to be?
Probably 2. Yeah, 2.
Well, you talk about your family, your divorce, your work, your school, and your kids, most importantly. Um, so I know going forward, we'll continue into our next session. We'll go ahead and continue to talk and see what activities or ideas you come up with to make this happen for you.
Yeah, Yeah, we've got to work. Yeah, it's gonna work.
Would you like to continue these sessions?
Yeah, I'd like to come back and at least tell you what I've done since the last time. That would be good.
All right, thank you. Thank you for